in every life.
But you know what, kiddo? I don't think I want you to grow up.
Who's gonna go sailing with me then?
In every love.
If you like it, it's yours.
If I like it.
There is a moment
We should do this more often. Go away, just the two of us, nobody else around.
never to be forgotten.
Nick? Nick? Nick?
Put the knife down, ma'am, and step away!
I don't know where my husband is.
Nick bought life insurance policies.
Nick wanted to make sure that we'd be okay.
There's a big difference between okay and $2 million. The jury may see it as a motive.
I didn't kill my husband.
Libby Parsons is in prison for a crime she didn't commit.
I'd like you to adopt my son. Money won't be a problem. It isn't about money. Thank you.
Now the only way back to her son is to find out what really happened.
Hi, Mommy.
Hello, sweetie pie.
Daddy.
Nick? Nick?
You ever hear something called double jeopardy? The state says you already killed your husband. They can't convict you of it a second time. That means that when you leave here, you can kill him. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. It makes you feel warm and tingly all over, don't it?
Paramount Pictures presents
Who's this?
That's somebody I'm looking for. Pretty girl? Oh, yeah, she's very pretty for a convicted murderer.
What are you looking for?
A friend I haven't seen for a couple years.
Angie died in the accident. Poor Simon. I've never seen anyone so grief-stricken.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's over, Libby.
You cannot know what it is like to sit in prison and think of nothing else in the world but your son. Did I make the right choice? I didn't have a choice.
You ever arrest anybody you thought was innocent, but you can't prove it?
She is in New Orleans. She does have a gun. She is looking for you. She believes that I'm her husband, whom she killed. Yes, sir.
Hello, Nick. I learned a few things in prison. I could shoot you in the middle of Mardi Gras and they can't touch me.
Double Jeopardy.
Where's my son?
YouTube, we are back again. My name is Gillis the Kid, and I'm here with Hannah. Once again, it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's cold outside now, so we're back inside. But we just got finished watching Double Jeopardy. The movie came out in 1999, and it stars Ashley Judd, Tommy Lee Jones, and Bruce Greenwood. They're like the main characters. And you'll know Ashley Judd from Divergent. She was in Twister. She played with Samuel L. Jackson. And Tommy Lee Jones, he's known for a lot of movies like
Men in Black.
Well, Men in Black was his most popular movie. And then we have The Fugitive. He played with Harrison Ford.
He was the guy chasing Harrison.
He was the guy chasing him. And then
that's another old movie.
Yeah. And then he played as the same guy, but in U.S. Marshals, chasing Wesley Snipes.
And this one, he's chasing.
So now, well, in this movie, he's his name is Travis.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a completely different character. But same thing, he's playing as a parole officer.
Chasing after, I can't say criminal because she's really not a criminal.
And then, so the movie starts off at the party, and it's like a job party.
Yeah, something like school.
And it's Libby, who is played by Ashley Judd. She's talking with her husband Nick, and what was the other girl name?
Angie.
Oh yeah, Angela Green.
Angela Green.
Yeah. And she worked at the company, and then Nick tells her he's got her a boat. He doesn't say how. Oh yeah, she says, how can we afford it?
No, he had it over the weekend, and if she likes it, they're gonna try to get it.
Yeah, but she was asking him like, how can we afford this? So then they get on the boat. It's like a romantic night. She wakes up the next. Well, I think she woke up in the middle of the night.
Yep.
And then she's got blood all on her. Mm-hmm. There's blood like
footsteps all over,
leading up to the deck.
And
then she wakes up, and what does she do? She picks up the knife.
Yep, we see there's a knife scene and we're like, don't touch it. Of course. Of course.
And at the same time, the Coast Guard comes. And, they arrest her and everything. And then...
No, it took a while to arrest her. They were looking for the husband for the first time. And then there's a part where she has to be arrested because there was some hearing saying that they thought she did it. And then she's like, not in front of my son.
Yeah, well, that sheriff was telling her the waters were cold. And, they tested the wind.
It's impossible for him to survive.
Which I do have to ask, how did he get off the boat? Like, they never told you, like, how he got off the boat.
He must have swum, because she said he's a strong man.
That was pretty far, though, to swim.
Well, she could swim far, too. It was cold when Tommy Lee Jones was, like, shaking like nothing.
And I do have to ask, where did he get the blood from?
He sliced himself.
And then, so then she gets arrested.
Yeah. And then on trial, they said she was guilty, and they said she attacked him, sliced him into pieces. Oh, it's called diced.
Yeah.
And then she just threw pieces by pieces in the ocean. So
well, the lawyer basically told her, they were following the evidence, and then she had like all the everything pointed to her.
Yeah, it was a really.
And that's when you find out there was a life insurance policy too.
Well, she knew about it.
For the $2 million.
She knew about it because it was like for both of them, $2 million for the guy, $2 million for the girl.
Yeah.
So whoever dies, the kid gets it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a kid named was Maddie. Was he like a 6-year-old boy?
I think so.
He's about 5 or 6. And he reminded me of Andy from Child's Play. He had like the same haircut. And that's when she asked that lady that worked with him to adopt her kid.
Yeah.
And the trial didn't go so well.
Yeah, she got jailed.
Oh, and where'd that recording come from?
It was from a radio. Like he was.
It was like, help.
I got stabbed. Did he say my wife stabbed me or something like that?
He made a recording.
Right then, she should have already.
Yeah.
She should have already suspected
that phony recording me. And then, so she goes to jail. What did she get? I think she got about 7 years. 6 years.
Yeah. She should have gone out earlier because she was doing so good in jail.
Well, they have certain requirements. Like she never got into any fights or anything.
Oh, with murder, 6 years was short. She must have had a few years off already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, depending on what state you're in, some states give you the death penalty. Actually, I don't even remember what state they were in.
I don't remember. So she gets jail time. She does jail very. She does it pretty good. She meets that black lady. And then Angie does visitations normally until.
Oh yeah, until they.
There was a month that she couldn't. She didn't get any visitations, and then she was crying, and then because she was on the upper. Of the double bed, and she was like crying all night, and the lady on the bottom.
She stopped bringing Maddie for a whole month.
Yeah, so I guess the black lady and then.
Oh, she was in there because she killed her husband.
Yeah, she's like, he deserved it.
He deserved it.
And then she had a friend that was Hispanic, I think, the curly one.
Yeah.
That looked like a lawyer. That was a lawyer.
She was a lawyer. And she told her that
the girl was crying all the time because who was this?
Well, she told her if you ever track them down.
No, not yet. They don't know if she's alive yet. This part was when she was crying, and then the Evelyn lady told the Hispanic, and then the Hispanic's like, you know how to track her down. You can do better.
Oh, when she was in the courtyard.
Yeah, and then she got smarter. She got smarter, and she called. I think it was the insurance company, and then she was saying like,
"Don't you want to get your money back?"
No. She was like, "What? Well, I want to make sure if you got the correct address and phone number." That's how she got that phone number, and she called Angie, and that was a time where it was like, "Hi, mommy. Oh, we're about to call you, and we're about to come in a week." And then the dad comes in, and it's like, "Daddy."
Right. And I think where did he go? To San Francisco?
Yeah, that one was for San Francisco. That one we heard because she got the whole address. And then she got so mad, she dialed again. Nick pulled off the wire so she couldn't contact anymore. And then her two buddies in jail found out, and that's when they had that girl talk, you know about Double Jeopardy. You kill him, and where was she saying?
You can't be convicted.
Yeah.
She said you could shoot him in the middle of Times Square. And
no one can arrest you.
Basically, you can't be convicted of the same crime twice.
Yep. And all she has to say is that guy was Nick Parsons.
Nick Parsons.
Because throughout the movie, he changed his name like nothing. And then she loses contact with Angie after the daddy scene, and she got payroll.
Yeah. Well, she
had to practice those lines to get payroll. Remember the Hispanic was saying, "You can't say that. Repeat after me."
She told her what they wanted to hear.
Yeah. So she got payroll, and then of course her payroll officer is
Tommy Lee Jones. Well, it's sort of like a halfway house.
Yeah.
Where the inmates go before you can go back on your own again.
Yeah.
So the remainder of her 3 years had to be
with him. 3 years is long. And then she had like few days, and she already started hunting for Angie. She went to that school. The first scene where Angie was working and she got awarded. Right. She went there and asked for some details. Of course, the school didn't give it out.
That's right. Angie was a teacher.
Yeah, so they would have known everything about her. They wouldn't release anything. That's how.
Was that?
That was the first time she broke parole parole, because she didn't come home. What time was curfew? 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock, yeah.
And then it took her, she had to get on a boat to get there. I was like, how's she going to get back? Of course, the teacher didn't give out any information. So, of course, she had to stay until they all left. And she broke in, and she memorized Angie's social security number.
Yeah.
But by that time, Tommy Lee Jones already found out she wasn't in bed 8 o'clock. And he went looking for her. Oh, wait. Of course, the police came in.
Yeah, because she broke the window.
Yeah, but that was 99.
Well, they still had alarms.
Oh, yeah, I remember school had alarms. Okay, that's true. So, the police caught her. And then
on the beach,
and then she goes to jail for the night, and then Tommy Lee Jones, of course, finds out. He comes pick her up,
and she had the piece of paper too.
Yeah, and then that's how he knew she was looking for Angie. So he already had bits and pieces of what she was trying to do. And they get back on the boat, on the barge, go back to the main island.
That's when she's seen a picture of his daughter too.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that was the part where on the box where she had all her clothes and there was only one picture, and then he's like, "Is that gonna be a problem?" And she's like, "No." And then on the barge on the way back, he had a picture of her daughter, and she's like, "Is that gonna be a problem?" Like right back at you. And then he goes, was it a coffee break at the barge on the way back to the
top of the ship? He took a
coffee break, of course. He had a DUI and he had a coffee break. He added liquor in his coffee, shook it a little bit. And that's how Libby...
Oh, he left the keys in the car.
Yeah, that was a bad move.
And her arm was chained to the, like the handle.
It was cuffed. She was cuffed to the door knob. Yeah. Is it still a doorknob for cars?
It's like a door handle.
Yeah.
But she kept putting the car in like drive and reverse.
Yeah, because there was like
a pipe.
There was a pipe that was like an exhaust pipe, and it kept hitting. And then of course Tommy Lee Jones, Lehman, he saw because there was a red car in front of her, and it fell doing her reverse forward thing. And he saw the car floating around, and he knew what she was up to. He went back downstairs, and she still couldn't get the handcuffs off, so she just hit forward, and they both fall. Should it be a lake or a seaside?
Yeah, that was definitely like a lake, going out into the ocean.
Yeah, it was, lake.
And he uncuffs her.
Of course, because she wasn't finished. She couldn't still pull it out, so she had to be uncuffed. But while he was uncuffing her, she was getting hold of the gun.
She stole his gun. Then she hit him in the head with it.
Yeah, there was a little fight in the water, but because he, of course, doing his job, trying to get hold of her.
And what did she do? She swam all the way back to shore.
Yep. And then Tommy Lee Jones was rescued on a life.
It was like they threw like a life preserver or whatever.
Yeah, and then he got back on the boat shaking like nothing, so it must have been cold.
And then she where did she go next?
She goes to she goes home. She goes to mom.
Yeah, her it looked like her mom had a house like on a farm.
Yeah, a cute little house. And then,
but she couldn't stay there long, so her mom,
of course, because Tommy Lee Jones know everything about her.
She had the little box.
Yeah, she had some money,
big stack of money in there.
Yeah, so that's how she started moving around. The mom gave the old truck, and then it was a Mercedes store.
I think. Well, didn't she visit that one house? I think it was how did she even know how to go to that house though? Remember she knocked on the door? Oh yeah, so
the Mercedes store.
Oh, from the address.
Yeah, she went to a Mercedes store and said, "Oh, I want this car. You want to run my social security number?"
Oh yeah. She acted like
she was Angie.
She was trying to buy like a BMW.
Oh, it was a Mercedes.
I think it was a BMW.
Oh, somewhere like that. So fancy. And then, so her social security was run. And then the stupid guy says, "Oh, the address says blah, blah, blah. Your phone number says blah, blah, blah. And didn't you say you were Angie Green? It says a Ryder."
No, I'm Angela Ryder.
No, I'm Ryder. So she found out that address, went to that place. And then the door opens. She thought it was Maddie, but wrong. It's a new family that moved in. She talked to the lady across, or the neighbor that was there for 40 years. And she's like, "Oh, Angie died. Simons was devastated." And she's like, "Yeah." Yeah. I bet he had that all. I bet he killed Angie too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess he said it to where like the house blew up.
Yeah.
Because remember she went to the library. Remember that with the guy?
Shoot. Yeah. What happened to the library? Oh, that was before.
Yeah.
That was before she went to the school.
Yeah.
So she thought it was impossible with all the lists that came out, so she just went back to the school.
That's how she found out.
It was easier to
her
get the
teacher certification.
Yeah.
Want to go get a drink? No. I gotta check with my parole officer. Hey.
Yeah, he ran off like nothing.
Of killing my husband.
Oh, I have an appointment. Yeah, we skipped that part. Yeah, but
after she
didn't really get anything there because it was a whole bunch of lists of.
So after she talked to the old lady, and she found out that Angela got blown up.
And then she looked at the obituary, and she saw the paintings.
Teacher killed in gas explosion.
A local
gas explosion.
Yeah, and then she saw the painting, and then it reminded her of her husband's favorite paintings, blah, blah, blah,
Right.
specific year, specific artist. So she goes to the local gallery.
It was in like a small town.
Yeah, and then she's like, I want this painting, and he's like, oh, it's already sold, and I'm like, and she was like,
well, at the same time, Tommy Lee Jones was talking to the old lady too.
yeah, yeah, he was catching up fast, and then she was like, can I know the details of the buyer, because he may have something like that, and that's how she found out Nick's current name.
Oh, what did he change it to this time? It was
Jonathan
Devereaux.
Yeah, so fancy. And then
New Orleans.
Oh yeah, that one's New Orleans. And
She
then
got the address.
Yeah, and then Tommy Lee Jones was so close.
He tried to box her in.
Oh, he did. He blocked the truck. But of course, this is an old truck. It's like built like a stone. She just backed it up, hit the car.
It's like one of those old trucks that's made out of steel.
It looked like a stone. Like it didn't even dent when she hit his car, and his car was all over the place. But and then they go to New Orleans. Tommy Lee Jones finds out she's on the way to New Orleans too, because the screen is exactly where it was, and then Jonathan blah blah blah.
Well, she found out at the hotel that
he's the owner.
Yeah, he was
the owner of the hotel.
There was going to be a party.
So that's where all the money's going to, dead wives.
Yeah. I mean, he had like one of those like fake auction things. Then she goes into the store to buy the dress.
Yeah, with another person's name and room number. I don't think that woman would even remember, because that woman must have been really rich. Oh, that's all I have to pay?
Yeah.
She got a dress. Oh, yeah, that's how they first meet. Yeah. She got that dress. There's an auction, and of course, Nick sells himself first.
Right. Well, she got into the party by talking to that lady. It looked like they were in a group. Yeah, but when you go to that kind of party, it would say like reserved for 2 seats, 3 seats, and well, that guard must have not been looking at the numbers. So she got in. Jonathan sells himself on the auction. Starts with 500, 600, blah blah blah, and then Libby at the back, like it was like 10,000. Yeah, it went up to 10,000, and then the other lady.
No, it was 5,000, and the other lady was willing to do 6,500.
Yeah,
and she's like $10,000.
$10,000.
And then the other lady's like, he's not worth that much.
Worth that, honey.
I know that from experience. And then of course Libby's like rolling her eyes, and then she wins, and she slow walks towards Nick, and Nick's eyes like. And then they slowly walk aside, and the lady that said he ain't worth it, And she's like, I'm her wife. I'm his wife. Whatever.
First you're single and now you're married.
And then she said, were you guys together before you tried to take me out in front of everybody? Yeah. So Nick was like, okay, let's go somewhere. That's
so she basically told him, you know, give me Maddie, and I won't destroy your life.
Yeah.
And that's when
that's all he should have done. He put the kid into boarding school if he just gave him to her.
That's what I always wondered. Like, your plan failed. Why not just give her
what she wants?
It's not like he was making money off of Maddie. Like, what?
He already got a hotel.
Yeah. The thing is, he still would have gotten into trouble though if she ever would have went back to the police.
Yeah. So in that party, she's like, I want Maddie, and then Tommy Lee Jones comes into the party. That's where she had to escape.
I'll call you tomorrow.
And then Tommy Lee Jones talks to Nick and says, Libby is looking for Nick, and she believes you are Nick.
Yeah, he still didn't believe it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he didn't have too much proof.
Yeah.
But that's when he went to the sheriff in New Orleans to... and he was like, yeah, she's here and she's trying to kill one of your citizens.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, how's she's gonna do that? Probably by the gun she stole from me. And that's when he was calling back and forth.
Yeah, the sheriff was like, is that over
at long distance?
Long distance. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, he was calling the back office, asking for this. Was it? Oh, they said license. the state in that.
Yeah,
part. We forgot.
Oh, Washington State.
Oh, so they were from Washington.
Now I remember.
So they were asking for Lehman was asking for pictures of Nick Parsons.
Of course, it came back as somebody else.
Nick Parsons' driver's license. Yeah. So it was sent to him. The first he saw it, it wasn't Nick. And then Libby calls in the morning.
Yep.
They decide to exchange the child at the cemetery. And of course, Nick has other plans.
Well, he paid some kid to play as Maddie.
Yeah, he was just running around.
And once she got to that one tomb, that's when he like grabbed her and knocked her out.
Yeah,
like, and hit her head up against the.
And then he put him inside a coffin.
He put her inside of the coffin.
Inside the tomb, inside the coffin, locked. And there was already somebody there.
With a dead body.
With a dead body. And then he was like, I would have killed him with just that alone.
Whenever you saw him give the kid like $100 bill, he'd go.
So she still had the gun. She shot...
And her lighter.
Yeah, she shot that too. I guess it's the joint of the casket.
Yeah, it's like the hinges. Like she felt where the hinges was and blew them off with the gun.
Yeah. And then the door was closed tight, so she had to go with the window. And that's where she was walking like a madman back to the mad woman. Back to the hotel, attempting to kill.
She was definitely going to kill him.
Yeah. And then
I would have.
Yeah, I would have. Everybody would have. And then that's where Tommy Lee Jones finds her and then says,
"It's over.
It's over." And then the scene is Nick and Tommy Lee Jones trying to talk to Nick.
Right. Well, what they didn't show you was they got together and figured like. They narrowed it down, and then they actually sent him the real driver's license.
No, they sent him all the driver's license, but he was looking at the first one first.
Yeah.
So, Tommy, we should just call him Lehman.
Travis Lehman.
Travis is easier. So Travis tried to talk to Nick, and Nick was like, there's no proof, I can't be the husband. And then Travis was like, oh, I asked for the driver's license, and of course he chose the first old guy. And then Nick has a little smirk in his face and saying, oh, that's not me. And then Travis is like, oh, but Nick Parsons is a very common name in this state.
Yeah.
And it turns out there's like a couple of them, and you were the third one.
Yeah. They narrowed it down.
And then
he made him a deal.
Yeah, how much?
I want $1 million.
How much you want? $1 million.
Right now.
Right now. And he didn't have $1 million, so Nick offered $100,000. $100,000.
I got $100,000 in my safe right now.
And then Travis says, but your wife's after you. How are we gonna deal with her?
Right.
And then Nick says, oh, I dealt with that. I buried her.
She won't be a problem.
She won't be a problem. Because, of course, he didn't know that she got out. And then that's when, ta-da, Ashley Judd comes in and like, hello, Nick. Oh, no, that was the first part.
You shouldn't make promises, Nick. You're bad at it.
Yeah.
And she shot the painting.
Yeah. She should have shot him already. So the plan was...
And he had him on a...
Yeah.
He basically
Lehman recorded the part, the money part, and the part where he said, oh, I took care of it. I buried her. So that was recorded. So the plan was Nick killed Libby.
Right.
And then...
Burnt her body.
And then, of course, that's another money because Libby is worth $2 million. So that was the plan of the story.
Like reversed his own plan.
That's exactly, yeah. So that's $2 million each for the two couple. Wow, that kid's gonna be really rich. And then of course Nick didn't like the idea, and he had a gun under his desk, and he started shooting.
Yeah. Yeah, he shot Tommy Lee Jones first, and then he started shooting her.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, yeah, you have to go. Nobody wants to see a dead person walking. Yeah. So she was walking out. Tommy Lee Jones was right behind her, and that's when he pulls the gun, shoots his shoulder, and then everything goes crazy. But of course, it's 2 versus 1. Come on, who's going to win?
He's hitting, rah, rah.
Yeah, it was a fight.
He's hitting his arm.
And then the guys were fighting, and then
boom,
Nick wanted to shoot Lehman, but before he was gonna before he could have shot Lehman, Libby shoots him somewhere.
She shot him twice.
Yeah, I would have shot him in the head. Make it sure.
And then
I would have shot him in public just to prove double jeopardy. Like, seriously. I'm such a criminal. I would have shot him and hanged him in public or something like that.
In front of the Marty.
Yeah. Like,
yeah, forget prison. I would have.
I've already been there. This is double jeopardy. I can hang him anywhere I want.
I would have killed him just for putting me in that.
Yeah, and
casket.
there was the dead woman's right beside her.
Forget about prison. And to be honest, she forgot she was gonna forgive him.
Yeah, she's so like, nice. As long as I have Maddie, you can
just
keep
me
whatever.
Maddie, and you can do.
That
went and did that, and it's like
see, if he just gave Maddie to her, everything would. Of course, he acted up, so he died. And it ends. Tommy Lee Jones get fired.
Well, he said he was gonna go back and he was gonna wipe her.
Yeah, but still, he lost his job because the part where he drove her to Maddie's boarding school was like, lady, I lost a job and drove with her just for this. Go talk to her. And in prison, she was like, if you had a child, they'll remember your voice forever. Right. So she tried that part. In the end, she's like, Maddie,
That's what I always wondered, like how he never really took a good look at her all those years.
I mean, 6 years. I think you would remember.
Well,
6 years old. Come on, you remember.
He had to know she was his mom.
Yeah, I mean, if he was 6 years old when she was jailed, he would have remembered her. And they said you were dead, and that ends the story.
That's pretty much it.
Oh, we had a little discussion.
He was at like a fancy one of those like boarding schools.
Yeah, of course he's worth $2 million. Come on.
He just put him in school so he can do all of his like, shady business.
He should have just gave Maddie up. That's all he needed to do. Right. See what happens? You die. So, the first question is, do you think Angie and Nick was already together before the murder?
Oh, yeah. They planned all that. They had to. Because remember when she answered the phone, she's like, "It's Libby."
Yeah, but Nick said it happened after.
Right. I mean, I don't think he could have planned that without Angie knowing, though. Okay. Like, he had to tell her.
Okay, so let's say they were together.
Because no teacher would have, moved with him and helped take care of his kid not knowing that.
Yeah, but the first part, it was Libby that asked her to take care of her child.
Yeah. Because maybe they knew she would have to eventually do that.
Second question. When Angie died, you think he killed her for the money or it was a real accident? Because the neighbor said he was so devastated.
No,
is he a money person or did he really fall in love with Angie?
No, he just needed her to make everything look
so he's legit. A money guy.
Yeah. Come on, gas explosion.
And it was an expensive neighborhood. Yeah. Of course, all the maintenance would have been.
And he had a reason to kill her because she messed up. Remember, she picked up the phone when she.
That wasn't her phone. That wasn't her fault.
He looked pretty mad. He probably got rid of her.
But they got married because she became a Angie writer.
But when he picked up the phone...
Oh, you have to get married and do the insurance to be able to claim it. Okay.
Plus he had to move again too. So
of course.
Yeah.
That's my only two questions.
Right.
I have. Do you have any questions?
The only questions I had was where did he get all that blood from?
Oh, he bled himself. I'm sure they already had DNA testing by then.
That was a lot of blood to like cut yourself and be like,
He must have had it for a while.
Like he's gonna cut himself and then put the blood up the stairs and.
Ugh, that was too much bleeding. Yeah, that's about it.
And have the strength to swim. I don't know. I think someone picked him up though. Yeah, maybe probably. Angie had a rowboat. Maybe he had money, so he probably paid somebody to pick him up.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, another question.
Yeah.
Why would you say this is a black person movie and it's only a white person?
Oh. Well,
if there was a black couple, what would have happened?
Oh, that just...
Sorry, I'm Asian, so I don't really know.
You mean, if he got abducted?
Yeah. No, if the story would have been a black. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just... stuff like that don't happen.
Yeah, I would think they'd just go on a girl fight over the guy.
She probably would have just killed Angie and then just shot him as soon as she came home from work.
So there's no deep planning.
Yeah, we get kidnapped, but we don't come up with schemes like that.
I guess Asians do the kidnapping too. We don't plan.
Yeah. If this was a Tyler Perry movie, it probably would have been a little bit crazier. Yeah.
Yep, that's my three weird questions.
Everybody, they're gonna have their own interpretations of how he got off the boat, where the blood come from and stuff.
He must have you know how you donate blood and you have bags and bags of blood? But that alone, it must have some chemicals in it to keep the blood look fresh. So
He did
you know
something.
the O.J. Simpson part.
Yeah.
That's what they said, that there was a preservative that kept the blood. Blah blah blah.
That's
So
what that reminded me of too when I seen the knife.
Yeah, but that was too much blood compared to O.J. Simpson. Come on.
Yeah.
It was blood all over the place.
What
on the table, the floor, on her shirt.
Yeah. What I wanted to know, like, what if she never picked up the knife?
I'm sure there was already prints. They must have
He probably
put it on her hand while she was sleeping already.
Yeah.
But the Coast Guard saw her when the knife was like
Yeah.
really in her hand. So
Drop the knife.
yeah.
And that was pretty much it. 1999. And Ashley Judd, she played in a couple of other movies like this too. So she's well known for playing in these types of thrillers.
She's pretty good at it too.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, we'll probably have some more thrillers coming up down the line. I don't know which. We gotta pick like a main actress though.
Yeah, we're done with Scarlett Johansson. Next, we can do Ashley Judd. She must have a lot of movies though.
Yeah. They're all.
This is 99.
Yeah, most of them were like all thrillers too. So
there's gonna be a lot. Oh dear.
But that's all I've got.
Me too.
I think we've answered all the questions. I'm sure you'll
In
probably have some
floating in our heads.
Yeah. As usual, if you have any questions, drop them down into the comments.
Movie requests in the comments.
Yeah. I want to thank you again.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Guys, I lost weight. You see it?
And when it get warmer, we will be back outside.
Oh, yes. Oh, wait, we can't say that. It just started. It's still November.
The holidays are coming up, so
Thanksgiving's
we'll be pretty
coming
busy
up.
with that. But yeah.
That's it. Double Jeopardy.
Yep. I want to thank everybody for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace.